Hi friends, and welcome back to AR Cash channel here for Luther Perkins 101 Part 2. Thanks to my subscribers for joining me and all of our new friends here. So we're talking about Luther Perkins in the 1950s. So this is another guitar that I did. This was a 1980s made in Japan Squire guitar that I ripped apart and put a new wiring harness in. I put a custom shop Fender pickup in it and some medium gauge flat wound strings. We're also going to talk about this amplifier behind me. For those who don't know, that amplifier is a 1948 Sears Silvertone 1300 that would have been used on the original records like I Walk the Line and Get Rhythm. Also Hey Porter and Cry Cry Cry, some of the first records as well. So we'll get into that. We're also going to get into a little bit of delay as well. So delay was used heavily in the 1950s because reverb didn't exist yet. And so this is just a cheap fab delay pedal from Dan Electro. I think it costs like $30, but it does the job, and it actually does a really good job of portraying that real 50s sound. We're also going to talk a little bit about strings. These are the strings that are on this guitar here. I changed them purposely just for this video. These are 13 to 56 flat wound strings. So these are medium gauge actually considered. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well, and we'll have some clips and have some demonstrations, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit about strings right now, and especially strings for this guitar here, and achieving that 1950s sound. Now you want to get something like this. This is a medium gauge D'Addario string, and these are 13 to 56s. That's the ones I have on this guitar here. And if you want to go any kind of like later 60s sound, you're going to go for a light gauge string. The difference between these and like say a GHS brand, I use GHS brand a lot just because of the difference in the windings, and I will just kind of show you that. I know you can't see it on camera, but if you run your fingernail across the strings have, you can feel every single individual winding on a D'Addario string versus a GHS string where they're nice and smooth. That means that the GHS string will actually be a little bit more dead sounding, and you won't have to work them in as hard as the D'Addario strings. Now you're also, for Luther Perkins picking in the 50s, you want to use a pick that's pretty heavy gauge. So this is a 1, and I will demonstrate a little bit with it. We're going to do like I Walk the Line and maybe Cry Cry Cry, and just a few songs from the 50s, just to kind of give you a little demonstration on how this amplifier behind me sounds. I will be using a little bit of delay, so it'll just kind of sound more like the studio take instead of just a raw sounding amplifier. Alright, so we're going to give you a little sample of Cry 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 today, and the picking pattern is pretty well the same as any of the standard kind of Luther Perkins picking. A lot of people think that he just played the top 3 strings, which he didn't in all the songs, so it's just that standard. And then when you get a little faster, you're going to hit that upstroke. So here's a little bit of Cry Cry Cry. Alright, so there's a big myth about Luther Perkins and how he picked I Walk the Line, the original record, and also through the years. Now, Luther actually chorded it. He didn't play single notes, he actually chorded it. So I will just demonstrate the actual intro to I Walk the Line. Alright, so we're going to give you a little demonstration of Get Rhythm here.
and just that little tic-tac pattern that they use throughout the whole song. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% correct because I wasn't around back then, but kind of went something similar to this. All right, so here's a little demonstration of Hey Porter. Our last solo for today is going to be Folsom Prison, so it goes a little something like this. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about this amplifier now. This is a 1948 Sears Silvertone, like I mentioned before. It's a 1300 model. It's got a 10-inch speaker, which is a field coil speaker. It's 12 watts and a 2-channel amplifier. It's got actually 2 inputs for your instruments, so a 1 and 2, and then it's actually got a microphone channel along with a tone knob where you can actually tune your bass, your treble, and your mid. So hopefully you liked these videos, and thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe and stay posted for more videos on Luther Perkins. Now the next videos in the segment will be another 1950s video, but we're going to be using this amplifier right behind me. So we're going to use that little basement over there, and just to kind of get a little bit of a live sound that Luther would have had back in the day. So thanks again for watching, and hope you stay tuned for more videos.